I'm Carl Shumway, and the reason why I'm getting baptized is because I want to do it as a decision that I made to recommit my life to Christ about 10 years ago. Well, I grew up in a Christian home where we went to church every Sunday. And through certain circumstances, I ended up walking away from the church when I was around 16 or 17 years old. Had no desire to go. Always, like I said, I always believed in God, but that's about as far as I wanted for it to go. I always kept them at arm's length till I was about 30 years old. And it was at that moment when I was going through a trial in my life. I was right in the middle of a failed marriage and everything that surrounded that circumstances that I really felt God calling me back to Him. The marriage was hard. It was always a struggle. It always seemed like we, instead of fighting for each other, we was always fighting against each other. And it was always a clash. I didn't understand that there was a better way. I kind of felt that my way was best. I was living for myself, and it was out of selfishness that I was living. I always had to view it as about me, about what I wanted, about how I wanted things to go. Well, once I realized that what I had lost years ago when I left the church, I knew that I had to get right with Him again. And it just so happened about that time that a flyer showed up in my mailbox of the local church right down the street. And I looked at that for several weeks, and I knew that was the place for me. And picked up that flyer, and I went one Sunday. And that just started this long journey of starting a relationship with God. It kind of felt like God was saying, you know, you walked away from me years ago, and I've always been there for you, but look at the result of you controlling your own life. Look at the carnage of what is your life right now. And just calling me back saying, you know, let's do this together. Not just on your own, but let me lead you to something way better than what you've got now. So before the relationship with Christ had really grown, life was more about selfishness and living for myself. I mean, it was about what I wanted, when I wanted it, and how I wanted it. And now that a relationship has grown with Christ, and now that I know more of a better way of doing things, it's more about compassion and mercy, and just serving Him faithfully, getting to know Him, staying in His Word, and just continuing to grow in that process. And you know, I have no clue where He's going to lead me, and that's the great part about it.
Carl, because you've professed your faith in Jesus Christ and you call Him your Lord and your Savior, I baptize you in the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, and in the name of the Holy Spirit. Praise you for what you're doing in this man, Carl, and how you're raising up a hunger and a thirst for your righteousness in him. You're causing him to follow you and to pursue you with passion and a love to respond to your love for him, Lord. So, Father, I just pray that you would continue to shepherd him as you shepherd those who call on your name. And we look forward to how you're going to lead him from here on out as a son of God, a child of God. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.